Hi everyone, my name is Robin Scanlon. Welcome to a GLiNTECH Atlassian Masterclass Special Edition. This isn't a masterclass in its usual format. Instead, we wanted to bring you a special update covering Atlassian's recent announcement on the end of life of their server products. Many of you watching will be significantly impacted by this. So we wanted to highlight the myriad changes that are coming, and more importantly, let you know what options you have available. So for the next 15 minutes or so, we will quickly provide the background in these announcements. They have been in the post for a while, and we'll discuss the major changes that you need to be across. We'll highlight what options are available to you and what decisions you need to make. And finally, we'll help you make an action plan and provide some resources to help you. Now, as I mentioned, these changes are an awful lot to get your head around. So I'm thrilled to be joined today by Adu Wadiye. He's a senior account manager here at GLiNTECH, and he's also the sales operation lead. That basically means he's an expert in understanding and explaining these changes. I'll bring Adu in shortly, but just first some background on the bigger picture at Atlassian. Now, they adopted this cloud-first strategy back in 2016, and they started talking about simplifying their server and data center products then. This was really just so they could focus their energies on improving their cloud product. Initially, that had not been as feature-rich as the on-premise versions, and they wanted to position themselves to lead with the cloud long term. Now, the main tenets of this strategy were that there was time to value, return on investment, and innovation. Basically, the idea that cloud is faster to set up, it's easier to manage, delivers continuous innovation, and it scales with your needs. And when we look at the cloud milestones, we'll see there's been a wealth of changes over the last few years. The big things of note, there have been new cloud products like Atlassian Access, which is for user management and security. The introduction of the premium tier, which has now got advanced features and functionality baked in to the native product. And more recently, the release of Cloud Enterprise. This allows things like unlimited horizontal scaling and has specific features suited for large companies. You can control the release of new features, you can enforce single sign-on, and soon you'll be able to have more control over data residency, things like that. So we're now seeing a narrowing of that functionality gap between the on-premise and the cloud products. And in fact, we're now even seeing new features that are only available in cloud. And for the first time in a long time, Atlassian have been quite transparent about where they're heading. On their roadmap now, they'll show you a list of features and functionality that they're working on, including what's a work in progress, what's coming soon, and what's earmarked for the future. So this can give you some peace of mind if your hesitancy on moving to the cloud is on a topic that you know they're addressing. So that's how we got here. The more important part is, what does it mean for you? Well, I'll let Adu take over and run you through some of the changes.
Awesome, thanks, Robin. You're right. So Atlassian have made some pretty significant announcements. The first announcement is the end of life date for server support. That is 2nd of February 2024. This will include all of the Jira products, Confluence, Bamboo, Bitbucket, and Crowd. But don't panic, as Atlassian has provided a 3-year runway before you have to migrate off. So the first date that I'll ask you to burn into your memory is 2nd February 2021, as that is when the first set of changes will take flight. There are 2 main things to note though. Number 1, you'll no longer be able to purchase new Atlassian Server products, example Jira Software or Confluence, not including marketplace apps. And number 2, a price increase will also come into effect. In the following year, you'll no longer be able to upgrade or downgrade your user tiers, and Atlassian will stop releasing minor features, but will continue with their security bug fixes for critical vulnerabilities until the end of support date. In 2023, Atlassian will stop the sale of marketplace apps. And finally, in 2024, Atlassian will stop supporting their server products and redirect all their energies into their other offerings. Hopefully by then, you would have moved off this product and onto something else. So how do you move? What are your options? Well, you have 3 main options. Option 1, move to cloud. This is Atlassian's recommended path, as it will provide the most value and benefits, and also aligns with their longer-term goals. Option 2, upgrade to data center. So this is the on-premise option for those whose business requirements prevent working in cloud. And option 3, continue on server until you're ready. So with 3 years before support is no longer available, you can stay on server while you make a decision on the best next step. Do keep in mind though, acting early means you'll experience the benefits sooner and avoid future price increases. So option 1, moving to the cloud. For those who are not familiar with the cloud, the main differences are as follows. So you've got licensing. Server is a perpetual license, cloud is a subscription based. On cloud, you can use it immediately. You don't have to worry about the hardware support or maintenance costs. You'll always be on the latest versions, and you can log in anywhere around the world while also leveraging world-class security practices. And finally, you can scale up and down with ease. For those of you who are considering moving to cloud soon, you can do it today. Atlassian are offering existing server customers free cloud trials for the remainder of your server maintenance. This way, you have the ability to explore and evaluate all the features of cloud before making the decision. And for those customers who have over 1,001 users, Atlassian are providing you with an additional loyalty discount scheme. That is 55% off the first purchase, 40% off the second, and 20% off the third purchase. So for those customers who are not ready to migrate to the cloud just right now, that's fine, because option 2, upgrading to Atlassian's data center, could be the way to go. So what's the main differences between server and DC? As you know, server is a perpetual license, whereas DC is an annual term license. You can have multiple nodes for active-active clustering for high availability. It's optimized for AWS or Azure deployments, and SAML 2.0 is supported natively. This also can continue to have complete control of your environment. Additionally, as of the 2nd of February 2021, some Atlassian data center products will also have native apps built in for free. So for example, Jira Software will have advanced roadmaps. Jira Service Desk will have Insight Asset Management and Insight Discovery. Confluence will include team calendars and analytics for Confluence. And all of them, with the exception of Bitbucket, where you'll need a minimum of 251 users, will receive priority support. Along with these native apps, there are some price changes coming as well. So you have 2 options here. Option 1, purchase DC licenses today and beat the price increase. Or option 2, purchase DC licenses after the 2nd of February 2021 at the new list price. Whichever option you decide to move forward with, you'll either have credits or discount applied. Before 2nd February, that's a cross-grade credit, and after, it's called a loyalty discount. So cross-grade credits are available right now, and it's essentially a fixed discount applied to the current list price, depending on which user tier you're on. Whereas after the 2nd of February, Atlassian will introduce loyalty discounts for DC, and depending on if you are under or over 1,000 users for Jira, Confluence, or if you have JSD, Bitbucket, or Crowd, the discount will vary. Also, the level of discount will decrease over time. This will depend on when you renew or when you purchase the licenses. So to give you an example, let's say you are on Jira Software Server, 2,000 users, and want to upgrade to Jira Software DC, also at 2,000 users. So on option 1, you purchase now on the current list price, which is $52,800 US. You then minus that with the cross-grade credit of $14,400 US, which gives you the first year cost of $38,800 US plus GST. Now, whereas if you were going to go ahead and move with option 2, if you were to purchase later with the loyalty discount, then the new list price is $120,000 US. You then subtract that with the loyalty discount, which will be 40% of the first purchase price before 1st July 2021. So in this case, that's 48,000 off. So with all that, that will give you the first year cost of $72,000 US plus GST. So just to stress the point on this one, the window is shutting. And if you want to move to DC, we are urging you to make a decision before February and understand where you need to take action and when you need to take action. Do you need to do it now, like some of our customers who are deploying their DC licenses onto a non-clustered environment? This is so that they can quickly purchase the licenses, avoid the price increase, and lock themselves into advantage pricing. Or do you want to do it later, similar to some of our other customers who are waiting to take advantage of the loyalty discounts? Or is it something that you're going to look into as a future action where you don't necessarily where you won't be able to take advantage of the cross-grade credits or the first round of loyalty discounts, but you may be able to jump into the second or the third. So once again, I'd recommend you speaking to us directly as we can walk you through your specific use cases and determine which is the best option for you. And finally, option 3, if you want to continue on server until you're ready. So if you want to take this option, then please note that the options available to you will start to decrease over the coming months and years. In the meantime, though, you have 3 immediate options. Option 1, renew your server licenses early for 12 months. Option 2, renew your server licenses early, but for 24 months to lock in the price at the current rate. Or option 3, you're happy to wait and will renew your licenses after the price increase. And with that said, I'll hand it back over to Robin to walk you through the next steps.
Fantastic, thanks Adu. Wow, there's an awful lot to take in there. So for everyone watching, where to start? Well, I've got 3 steps to get you moving. First of all, consider your options. As Adu mentioned, there are only 3 that involve Atlassian. The first is move to cloud. That's Atlassian's recommendation. Number 2, move to data center. Do that instead if you need that on-premise control and scale. Or if you're not in a position to do either of those right now, number 3, you can stay where you are while you get your ducks in a row. But remember, you will have to make a decision at some point. Next, understand the impact to your business. Now, financially, there's going to be differences. If you're moving to server or DC, licensing is going to be recurring now. And if you're staying on server, there's a price increase in February anyway. If you do move to cloud, you can choose between the standard and premium tiers. They're quite different in price and functionality. And if you move to DC, check what user tier you fall into and note that some of the apps that you might currently pay for separately now come bundled into the base cost of DC. So bear that in mind when you're comparing. Functionality-wise, do your due diligence on the key differences between the different deployments. Namely, do the apps that you use now, do they exist for cloud or DC? If yes, do they have the same features that you use? And can the data be easily migrated when you do move? And think about some timing considerations. From a cost point of view, like we mentioned, there are financial incentives for moving sooner rather than later. Remember, the options start to reduce from February next year. And from a change management point of view, when have you got the capacity to move everyone without causing too much disruption? And remember, if you're staying on server for now, the prices do go up and your options start to reduce from February. And lastly, use the available resources. Atlassian have a migration club. It's very cloud-centric, obviously, but if you look at the bottom of the page, it does have a link for data center. And at GLiNTECH, we have a heap of useful tools for you on our website. We've also got resources on the differences between server and cloud, notes on how to plan your move, and migration checklists, so check them out. Or if it's all just too much, you can, of course, talk to one of our experts who can give you some more specific advice about your needs and your requirements. Just reach out. It's a free service. We'll get you on the right path. Overall, though, as I do mention, the most important thing is don't panic. There are options there. We just need to identify the right one for you. That's us for now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found it useful. And thanks, Adu, for your insight. I know it's difficult to summarize all those changes. You did a really good job. Thanks, everyone. Remember to reach out if you're stuck. Bye for now.